Camera.
Oh, I
You're
don't
in the camera.
know.
I don't
know.
It's.
I was. Look.
Yay! Yay! Hi everyone. So we've got prosecco. Cheers.
Chin.
So we have decided that we are going to do a bit of a live kind of crafty thing. Brian's going to try and keep an eye on the comments as well as crafting because he's better at multitasking than I am.
Because I'm eating jellies too.
Yeah. We've got the quality street out, so we're all kind of set and ready to go. The Prosecco is flowing. It's already started flowing, and I had a couple of gins last night, so I needed the Prosecco today to get over the kind of feeling of, I only drink once a year, so...
That's why his moustache is like this.
Yeah. Made my moustache curl. We are going to do a bit of a craft. Brian can't see the comments at the moment, so I'll go through the comments in a second. But what we're going to do is going to move you over here, and that way that I'm doing that bit, Brian. You don't need to worry about it.
I'm not touching anything. It's technology. You should
So
know by now.
we're going to do a bit of a. Let's try and use some of the packing material that we had for Christmas. Yeah, well, obviously Brian didn't give me packing material for Christmas, and I didn't give Brian any packing material. I gave him things inside things, and he gave me things inside things. And so we thought, rather than just throw it away, why don't we try and do something with that? So this is all live.
I mean, there's also just bits and pieces from the week shopping. So there's like a drugstore bag.
A drugstore bag. How American are you?
I know.
Drugstore. It's called a chemist here.
There's one of those. There's a few of those fancy
Or a
perfume,
pharmacy.
perfume sniffy things.
Oh
where
yeah,
they give you a bit
perfume
of.
wafter thing.
Have you tried? Have you tried Savage?
Have you tried mace?
Have you tried Savage by Joe?
Sausage.
Sausage by Joe.
So it is kind of prosecco fueled. Brian, we're gonna when we move the camera, Brian will then be able to see your comments because the iPad is behind him. It's behind you. Oh no, it isn't.
Oh yes, it is. Okay.
So we're going to move and we're going to do a bit of crafty thing. Now, obviously, I realise that this is your Christmas day. We want to wish you a very Merry Christmas as well. We understand that it's not the Christmas that you perhaps wanted it to be, but Christmas is not cancelled from my point of view. Christmas is never cancelled because Christmas lives in our hearts and our deeds. And that's why, although we're having a
and
Christmas...
all the lovely Tim Hop stuff we got bought.
Yes. And although we are crafters and we're together and we're good friends and, you know, we understand that you might be on your own. And so that's why we want to do this, because that's our trying to do a deed.
So you could come and join us.
So join us
in our
while we have
madness.
a bit of a craft. All right. So I don't know why I'm shouting, because I've had some Prosecco. Okay. Right. Okay, so
crack
we're going to
on.
move you now. Let's crack on. Crack on. Crack on. Right, you're going to be higher up than you normally are because hopefully, hopefully nobody feels sick. Hopefully you are going to be able to see.
Jan. Good afternoon, Rian. It's a very alternative Christmas.
So hopefully
It's a
you'll be able
very
to see-
alternative Christmas.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be able to see everybody. Is that wonky?
You can see my crotch more than you can see my tape.
Nobody wants to see that, Brian.
No. Nobody's wanted to see that for a very long time.
Well, I'm no longer single, so who knows?
Yawn! See, this is what I've had to put up with. My singleness is now.
Oh no, I don't mean it like that. Don't be a grumpy old grouch.
I don't care.
Not on Christmas Day. You can be a grumpy old grouch any time of the year.
Yeah.
And we've got a few. If these lights get in the way of you, let us know. All right. And if you hear anything like scampering in the background, it'll be Worcester. So, what have they said? Is there anything I need to know about?
Lots of people have said hello. Lots of people are here. Lots of people have said good afternoon and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas
You may
to
say
you
Merry
all.
Christmas back.
Merry Christmas!
Oh, we don't need two of those. I don't want fruit. You do.
Don't you want one of these? Do you want one of these?
No.
So we were trying to prep,
On Prosecco.
our Prosecco.
It's not a good look.
It's not easy.
not a good
We haven't
look,
had anything to eat yet either. We're eating later so that we could do this with you guys.
Because we slept late and then opened
Well,
presents.
no, we didn't
No, we
sleep
didn't,
late.
actually.
No.
No, we slept late for you.
It's late for me, yeah, because I'm normally up like
crack a door.
Crack
Can
a
we open
door.
our presents? Can we open our presents?
yes, but
This year I made him stay in bed till 8 o'clock.
Yeah. So I was awake till sleep till 8, awake till 2.
Well, that's got nothing to do with me.
No, I was.
You went to bed early?
Mm-hmm. I was dreaming about my new date. So Bill is in the picture.
Not literally.
Not literally in the picture.
It's in the Isle of Wight at the moment.
It's in the Isle of Wight, yeah. So he lives in
There you
Crewe, and he's from he's in the Isle of Wight with his mum and his stepdad, so and his sister apparently. Anyway, don't want to hear about them. So, blimey, something's coming in. So all of the packing material is coming in, and so what I thought was I'd already picked my packing though.
Oh, had you? Cheating.
I've taken my.
This was you that sat there and went, we'll do a 5-minute crafting. You pick something, off you go, blah, 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 blah.
No, I didn't say that we had to.
He did actually plan it this morning, obviously.
Shush now. I did say to you I want to use this, and you gave me this. So this isn't packing material. This is just something cheap I got from TK Maxx a long time ago. But it's these that I got it for. Not because I didn't. I think this for me is a bit cutesy, whereas these frames I really liked. So this is what I was. And I was thinking about cutting it out. And I usually not. Usually right, hang on, just a minute. Let me have a bit of prosecco. I usually cut it with a scalpel. However,
it's not allowed.
A scalpel and prosecco probably isn't a good thing. So I do have some Timmy, lovely Timmy, Tommy.
I don't know.
Timmy, that backs for the same team, will be helping me on this. Timmy, if you want to sponsor me, it's fine. Timmy, I need a sponsor.
We bought all your stuff this Christmas. Sponsor us.
Yes. We're keeping you in your... What are they called? A condominium. Is a condominium a good thing in America?
Isn't that like Branston?
No, that's condiment.
Oh.
A condominium. Isn't a condominium like a... Hello.
We've had a collapse.
A condominium is like a flat. Is it a flat? Condo? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, it's like a flat in the UK. Flat. Sounds dead glamorous when I say it like that. No, flat. So, this, I know I'm cheating because this isn't actually packing, but it's something that you might have thrown away because you didn't like it.
I'd have thrown it away because I don't like it.
So these bits I don't like. These are cute, and also I don't like anything that's a bit masky or anything that's a bit lacking its face. It doesn't have a face on it. Because these don't have like faces.
They're like the modern day emo version of Forever Friends.
Are they?
I think
so. These look like they should have a. There you go. Sorry, I'm having fun now.
Scary. I am going to play with this bit of junk mail, I think, and do something.
There you go. See that? Don't you think? Oh, where's the camera? David's there. Don't you think that looks better? Yeah, it does.
So much better. So I'm gonna take this talk junk mail and turn it into something.
I hope you're all having a lovely day. What are you going to turn it into? You've got scissors.
You didn't miss anything, Lou, apart from Prosecco, jellies, Quality Street, a lot of laughing. Join the fun.
A lot of laughing.
We're here now.
Yeah.
So, cheers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Merry Christmas,
Merry
everyone. Excuse me. Don't leave me hanging. Merry Christmas.
We've had a fab day. We bought each other hundreds of presents.
Because God bless us one and all.
Because nobody else does it, so. And we're both big kids, so we always buy each other loads of silly little presents and lots
of crafty things.
So, yeah. So the bed was festooned with presents this morning.
So yeah, and
then we listened to ABBA all day.
So I just want to say live on camera, because then you can bear witness to this, that even if anything develops with Bill, which I hope it does, but we don't know because we can't, predict the future. I don't have a crystal ball. Otherwise, I'd be able to predict that Brian is going to win the lottery in February.
I've already told him this.
Yeah. However,
I'm planning it.
even if Bill is a go, which I hope he is, just saying, Bill, in case you watch it, Brian will always be my crafty friend to give and receive crafty presents from.
Woohoo!
So, because he is my best friend. My best friend. I don't like to say it like that. What you do when you're doing this, Brian, you kind of just cut round it, don't you, and then snip into it.
Yeah.
If you're trying to go through. Yeah, I
Yeah.
might do that. Try to do this.
I get
on
close.
camera.
I get close into it and then go back and do the.
And if you are doing something like this, it really doesn't matter if it's raining or it's fine, just as long as you've got time to peel away, play away, play away, 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 play away, 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 play away, 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 play away, play away. No, it really doesn't matter.
I don't know what to say to that. I
It
really don't.
really doesn't matter if you cut something off or don't cut something off, as long as it's not attached to you. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect, because people really don't notice. Honestly, people don't notice if you've made a bit of a boob. A boo-boo. Didn't mean boob. I meant boo-boo.
So yeah. What was
So
I
I've
saying?
cut a bit
What was
off.
I saying before you drunkenly interrupted me?
Me drunkenly interrupt? I don't think
Never.
so.
So yeah, so we have had lots of presents and lots of Prosecco and lots of sweets and crisps and sandwiches. And we've listened to ABBA all day.
Oh yeah,
So it's been kind of nice.
it has. It's been lovely.
Old queens of a certain age. It had to
absolutely.
be ABBA. Although we did have a bit of ELO.
Oh yeah, Mr. Blue Sky. I love that.
And
The
we've
long
had-
version, especially.
And we've had a bit of Kylie from a new album.
Yeah. No Christmas music today, though.
No Christmas music.
We listened to Christmas music last. Did we listen to it last night?
No. No, we listened to
I was,
Kylie.
I was in another room then, obviously.
No, we had
Clearly.
Kylie. We had this
Within my dream.
This is Kylie playing. And we watched his Dark Materials, didn't we?
Oh yeah, his Dark Materials is really good. I know it's not very festive, but I just always think that and what's that other one that's
BBC drama.
Yeah, but I think what the other one is that's a bit like that. Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe and Box of Delights.
I don't know what Box of Delights is.
Have you never watched Box of Delights? Oh, you haven't lived. Well, you clearly have. You can see. You can see you've definitely lived.
Rude.
Have we got any questions? Anybody got any questions?
Family is who you hold dearest.
Yeah.
I love it. Haven't heard that for ages.
Haven't heard what? Play away. Play away.
Probably.
Wait, shut up, Dave. Shut up, Dave.
Shut up, Dave.
Anything else? You can scroll.
They
through
can
the
see a lot.
comments.
They can see a lot of this,
Can
and
they?
not a lot of this.
I'll turn it. You said that they can see your crotch. That's why.
I don't mind if they can see my crotch. I think they might mind. I don't care.
I have just moved it, but like it's taking a while.
There you go.
Better.
I can see green line now.
And the green lines, by the way, dictate where you could see to, but I think you can see a bit more. So you can actually see all of your map, Brian. You can see most of mine. So
Sorry,
Anyway.
I'm tucked in, so they can't see me crotch anyway.
your spots are visible.
My spots are usually visible from space. So.
You're a recycled teenager.
I am. 52 and acne struck.
So,
Ooh,
I don't know what people are doing for Christmas.
What are people doing for Christmas?
Yeah, tell us what you're doing, what you're currently doing, well, other than watching us. 'cause,
Watching us.
Watching us.
Oh,
Because if you're not watching us, then you can't answer that question. We need more glue.
and now I've got more income.
All right. Okay, so we've got a bin between us, which I might have to move because I'm finding it hard to be.
And then we'll just go back to throwing it on the floor like we normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pick them up. Quality street. Quality street everywhere. I knew there'd be trouble. You give him a glass of fizz, I knew there'd be trouble. I just knew it.
It's got really pink.
Oh, I don't know. He's almost overstimulated and now he's
I thought you
giddy.
said he's a homosexual.
Are you? How very dare you?
Switch my lights on. I don't know whether this was a good idea. Was it not a good idea to do crafted life with Prosecco? Brought to you in association with Prosecco.
You know what? Probably
Please
not.
drink responsibly.
Probably not, but you know what? It's too late now. It's too late now. We're here.
If you do drink, please drink responsibly. What have you pressed?
I don't know. Making dinner and watching excellent movies.
Yay!
Watching Mel making sausage rolls. Just finished the most amazing Indian takeaway. Ooh, that's a
Oh, who's having an Indian takeaway?
Tracy Lovegrove.
Oh. Oh, you
Watching you.
should have said Tracy would have been
You
round.
with us, we love you.
What? Oh, watching. Oh, was she? Oh, Lou, are you there?
Watching you.
Come
she
in,
said.
Lou. Are you there?
She said. When you asked what we were doing, she said, watching you.
All right, cool. That's good. So I've put my frame to one side because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to frame this little guy in the frame, but I want to stick him to something. And what I thought is if I stick him to the back of one of these, I might actually use this packing. I had this packing, I was going to use this, but then I noticed it was ripped. So one of the things that Brian bought me, which just shows how old I am, he's brought me one of those triangular pillows that you can like sit up in bed.
She said you wanted one.
and have your reading. I did want one, yeah. And
That's
so
because
you can have your reading glasses on your nose.
That's because I've had one for a year or so, and you just noticed that I had one. So now
I
you
was
like,
like, oh, I want one. What a great idea! It's like I'll be wearing my reading glasses on the end of a string around my neck soon. So
well, we need someone to crochet you a string first, don't we?
we do. That's great. So I'm just cutting this down. So
Hint, hint.
yes, crochet me a string. Oh, by the way, just so you're all aware, I'm going to be having a bit of a clear out come the new year. So I will be getting rid of stuff and putting it on the site. We've got a site, haven't we? We've got a group site. I don't know. There's something. There's a site somewhere where I might be putting it. So don't ask me because I've had a Prosecco and I really don't know. And now I've put that transparent piece down. I can't find it. Jiminy Cricket.
Oh no, it's going to be one of those evenings, isn't it? I can't take you anywhere.
Can't use that one because of where it is. So if we got some
No.
Mod Podge. Jeez.
It's good you've not got my
It's not,
YouTube, isn't it?
it's not thunder. So. Yes, thunder. Yes, what are you doing, Brian? To be fair, I know it's my favourite song. It's a Eurovision song. I can't think of the words though. Can you pass me a brooch?
I don't know, it just says like thunder.
Oh! Mm. Thank you. So, what I'm going to do is there is a.
Maybe we should turn the sound down.
Maybe we should.
It's quite
So,
scary.
what I'm going to do
Listening
is
to
I'm going to
yourself back.
paste onto here. I'm going to put some Mod Podge. Do we have some watered down? Oh, there is some watered down.
Probably. You did
I'll
write a label that said watered down.
I'll put this. I think that's. I'm putting it on the thing, but I can't see. Can't see where the transparent thing is. That's the problem with working with transparent stuff. Is it's clear. You can't see it. It's clear. You can't. I clearly can't see. Okay, shut up, Dave. Clearly. So, Brian, tell me.
Yeah.
Changing the subject so we move away from the fact that I'm clearly not able. Clearly, stop saying clearly now.
Clearly.
Clearly can't use this. Why did you get into craft?
Why did I get into
Was there
craft? You
any
made me.
All right. I was going to say, is there any influence? But like, yes.
I was quite happy sat behind my sewing machines, making clothes.
Yes.
Quite happy making drag queens outfits and strippers outfits and burlesque boys outfits. Quite happy making clothes that ripped off with Velcro in 19 pieces. And then
Really? Is that what you did?
Yeah. We used to make ball gowns that stripped off in pieces with Velcro so that the burlesque girls could take it off a bit at a time. Here's a bit of side boob. Here's a bit of hip.
I always have a bit of side boob, to be fair. So
I used to be able to make outfits that, like, because it was burlesque, so they kept the nipples and things covered. So you could strip everything else off.
Is that the
and
thing
keep
about
your nipples and foo-foo covered. What do I need? Ink, please.
I realise I'll be talking about. When it says, when I upload this to my YouTube channel and it says, is this made for children? Clearly not.
No.
So what I've done is I've changed to the watered down Mod Podge now because I'm painting over the top. I even know how to do this even though I've had a Prosecco or 9. What do you want from me?
Ink, please.
Ink. What ink? There's
tea dye
over there. Tea dye.
And a sponge.
And an applicator.
Is that what you're calling it?
Oh, it's a dauber or an applicator. What do you call yours? Your spongy thing.
So yes, anyway, I didn't do this sort of thing. And then...
I didn't do burlesque either, so...
I didn't do burlesque, I just dressed
No,
them.
you didn't.
Although I could be seen on a Tuesday night in heaven, dancing on the stage in hot pants and high heel boots.
Heaven is a place on earth.
It's actually a place under Charing Cross Station, but there you go.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
I thought it would change its name.
No, still there.
Is it still Heaven?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It used to be owned by Richard Branson.
Did it?
Yeah, for years and years and years.
Oh, I didn't know that. When? Because I've been to Heaven. I've been to Heaven, I've been to Paradise, but I've never been to me.
So it was owned by Richard Branson It was owned by Richard Branson for a long time because he knew where the Pink Pound was. And
yeah, he does.
And then it came out in the news that he owned it, so he had to get it off his hands quickly so that he didn't have it like.
Why?
Well, because it had a bad reputation back then, because it had dark rooms and illicit things going on. So he got rid of it, and Jeremy Joseph, who was, I think, the manager at the time, bought it. And Jeremy Joseph have had it ever since.
All right,
but it's still Heaven.
I don't know who Jeremy Joseph is. You say it like I should know. You've
No,
never lived in London. You're not.
I
Like
don't.
to know.
No, I don't
You're
expect
not gay.
you
You're
to know.
not like.
I
to
don't expect you to know, and you're probably lucky that you don't know.
All right. Good.
You're a knob. Excuse my French people.
Brian, this is going to go on a public channel.
Yeah.
This is Brian's opinion only. It is not an expression of any group or any affiliation of mine. I don't know him, so I will not make a comment. So, Brian, do you want to keep your comments to yourself?
All right.
So, what I'm doing, is, by the way, is all I've done is I've pasted this to a piece of plastic. It's a good way to use up. I like to use plastic where I can. Be careful when you're air drying plastic, because it can obviously melt and shrivel. And I've got it on my hand, and might not be a good idea, Dave. But I like to use plastic in my crafty things where I can, because I'd rather I used it and it stay in part of the craft than you just throw it away in the bin and it go into the sea and be wrapped around a turtle. So
Is that
slight leap there.
very specific? Very specific. Oh, that poor turtle. It might have been a dolphin. Or...
It might have been a dolphin. We're starting to melt a bit. So really be careful when you're drying it, not to go a bit crazy on it. But what I also like is I like the translucency of it. I don't know whether you can see that. Can you see? My camera is so far away. It's like it's in space. It's like the Hubble telescope. Can you see that it's slightly clear? Okay, transparent is what I mean. So that means that when we put that on there, we can also see anything else that you put behind it. So that gives you a really good opportunity to make it look like he's more in a foresty kind of situation. And it's a great way to use up all of that, stuff that you've got. What am I talking about, Brian? What was I saying? Who am I?
Packaging.
Where am I? Packaging. Yeah, all that packaging. So I can put some more leafy things behind it. I could, if you go a bit scary, I could have a giant robin behind him, which.
Yeah, if I was that deer, I'd be like,
Oh, you can't. Or you can have a beady eye staring at. No.
if I back up slowly, just in case, leave me alone.
So yeah, I haven't got a terrible amount. Oh, that's terrible, that amount. I haven't got a huge amount of leaves on there that I can.
You too, Jean.
What's that? What, Jean? Giant Jean. What did you say? Because I can't tell.
She said she hopes we're both well, and all the best for today in 2021 from Scotland.
Oh, thank you, Jean. And same to you. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. Don't make me cry.
Are you allowed to talk to us because you're in Scotland? Haven't we been like sanctioned from you?
Yeah. Yeah. Nicola Sturgeon.
I'll break the rules. Don't you worry about that. But
I won't take my mask off though, near you. Sorry, Nicola. I think you. I mean, I don't know because I don't live there, but I think she's doing a good job. But she's female, so I think all of the people that are looking after their countries that are female are doing a good job. And that's the answer. We need more women in politics. So, just saying.
Yeah.
My humble opinion.
No Margarets though.
No Margarets. Please, no more Margarets. Margaret Thatcher scared the living daylights out of me as a child, and then terrorised my teenage life by banning me from society.
Yeah. We were talking about this the other day because we watched The Crown recently, the latest season. And what's her face?
Have you got the paste?
I have. And what's her face? What's her name? Gillian Anderson played Margaret Thatcher.
Where did you get the paper, the book from?
Yeah.
Right, can I have a piece of that?
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, Gillian Anderson played Margaret Thatcher. And we were talking about the fact that we kind of grew up, we're both 52, but the only politics really...
I'm not 52. You're 52 in January. I'm not 52 until August.
I apologise. We're 51. I'm about to be 52. Spring Chicken over here objects, so he'll be 52.
Objection, my lord.
He'll be 52 next year sometime. So anyway, we're of an age where when politics first appeared on our radar as kind of young teenagers, Margaret Thatcher was in power or had just come to power. Mm-hmm. And then for most of our adult life, until our 20s, God, yeah. I don't remember how old I was when she died. She was in power for a lot
she wasn't in power until she died.
No, I know. But I guess because we're gay men, she also had a massive impact on our lives.
Yeah.
Because as well as everything she did to everybody else, like the poll tax and blah, 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 and nationalising, privatising everything and closing all the mines and destroying the world, basically. She also gave us Clause 28, which meant that we were illegal citizens all but,
yeah,
and that our lives were not good enough. And that's what we grew up with. We grew up with that was our politics.
It's really hard. I think it's really hard for people to understand that. So the only way to say it is, imagine if, because like most of our people, the people that follow us, are female, and that's because most people in craft these days are female, which we need to change, and we are working to empower the change of balance of power, not power, but the balance of like men and women in craft. Anyway, if somebody suddenly said that it was illegal to be heterosexual, or to be, female, or to be I don't know, menstruating or something that applies to just one particular group, then that's how you can say, well, this is how it feels.
It's like when women didn't have the vote and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
You fought long and hard. The suffragettes fought long and hard, and people died. And
and
we did exactly the same.
Yeah.
We did exactly the same.
And I went on marches, and I could quite easily have been arrested. And if I had, my mother would have literally disowned me.
I was arrested, but my mother's the devil.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, many a time.
All right, I see that terrified the idea of being arrested, but I still did it because you can't have somebody telling you can't be who you are when you are who you are. And I know lots of people, know older generation that were that they tried to change, as it were.
Yeah.
So I'm just overlaying these things. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but that's the joy of craft, isn't it? I've just dipped.
Or the fear of craft.
The fear. It's the fear of craft. Welcome to the fear of craft.
Welcome to the fear of craft. Join us.
Live for the fear of craft. We'll put the fear of craft into you.
You didn't do it.
What?
Live?
Live? What? Real live? No, live! Like the new panty pad for extra freshness. Sorry, it's a sketch from a Victoria Wood sketch, but like I can't find it on YouTube, and Brian thinks I've made it up.
I think he's written it in his head.
What? Live? Real life? No, live! So.
And he may well have.
Steady. So, what we've now got is we've got a few layers. We've got a translucent look. I'm just layering up the back really so that you can see. I won't put a fifth leg into the picture. That like scare everybody. So, anybody said anything? No.
Lots of people are
saying things. We'll read your comments later, but like I will. Brian's not very good at reading them out. Most of this you won't actually see.
I know Lou, it's not even thinkable. Her great grand's a suffragette.
Yeah.
But it was.
So, yeah.
This is how much, Lou, in our lifetime, this is how much it's changed. Like there are young gay people now who are 15 and 16 who come out. I've taught young transgender people who have had a bit of a hard time, but are generally quite well accepted in life. Whereas when I was growing up, when I was 15 years old, I told my mother that I was gay, and she went to see the doctor. And the recommendation was that I'd be put in a mental institution when we still had big mental institutions, and that I'd be left there. Needless to say, I left home a week later and I never went back, but that would have been the outcome of my life. At 15 years old, the only option for me was to go into a mental institute and be locked away, simply because I was gay. Whereas now, you say that to people now, you say that to kids now, it's an unthinkable thought.
No,
yeah.
So I think that's the other thing is I'm really for the empowerment of any minority. So, you know, Black Lives Matter, like the Asian community, transgender, bi, pan, whatever. However, the thing is, we need, like, in most cultures, other than the LGBTQ, you would learn about your history, and you don't learn about the history of, like, what people have gone through in order to get. I mean, like, there are people before us that died for it, that were punished, that had electric shock therapy, that, you know. So, anyway.
First most famous example, what was his name? Alan Turing?
Alan Turing, yeah.
Who's now on our £20 note, is it?
Yeah. All of that he went through.
Yeah. That man saved us in a war, and yet was chemically castrated.
Yeah.
Because he was homosexual. And that's what he had to suffer. And wasn't pardoned for being homosexual and for being an illegal person until a few years ago, despite saving the war.
I still have a fear, and this is like this because I'm drinking. I'm probably telling you more than I should, but I am still fearful of having. I love showing affection, and I love, you know, when you go to a railway station or an airport. Not these days, but like. Normally, you would have seen people saying, you know, welcoming people back into the country or saying goodbye and tearful reunions and, you know, showing public displays of affection. I still have a bit of a problem showing public displays of affection with a loved person because I am fearful of the repercussion of it. And, you know, that as I feel a bit like, I feel a bit ashamed of the fact that I feel like that. But I do. So, what are you trying to get? Do you not want this?
No, I'm good.
Okay. No, I'm good. He doesn't want. He doesn't want this.
I've got
a
3
in 1. I've got this. You want this?
Whereas I must
I've got
admit,
this.
I'm the opposite. I will do it to get a reaction out of people because I just think.
I mean, like if I kiss somebody,
I just
it'll
think
be like
expletive. Get over yourself.
and the other thing we dealt with was Mary Whitehouse. Was it Mary Whitehouse? Was that her name? That was like trying to censor everything on TV, and I still have a problem with the word homosexual because it was used in such a negative way. A homosexual is just really harsh. You know, being gay is less. It's a bit softer. It's a bit woollier. So, but Bill, if you're watching, show me lots of PDA because, like, I'm ready for it. So, I am going to frame my phone.
Did we not have this conversation before?
Foal. Is it a foal or a fern? Fern? No, foal. It's not a fern, is it?
It's the fawn stood in amongst the ferns.
A fern. A foal in a fern, not a.
It's not even a fall, it's a fawn.
A fawn in a.
What is it? What are those Quality Street dungeons? That's the second time they've gone on the floor. It's a fawn in ferns. It's a fernised fawn.
Oh, please don't,
Meh.
Brian. It's hard enough, like saying what I'm saying.
Oh,
without-
this glue's really annoying me now.
Oh, sugar. Just go over.
But now I don't need to tell you, it's fine.
Cool. Okay, so I've just like peeled the back up a bit. If we dab it back on, it'll be fine. So there we go. That's what we've got. So that's what I've done.
And I've not explained anything to anybody, but hopefully you've watched.
So,
And if you haven't, What can I
which
say?
means it's got a nice bit of a translucence.
I'll
It's
stick this
really
down
hard.
and
I'll
I'll
show
show
you the
you.
pictures afterwards. So, what else am I going to make? What shall I do, Brian? What shall I do? What shall I do? What shall I do?
I don't know, make a tag.
Make a tag. Let's tag here. Ta-da!
Hang on.
Hang on.
Oh yeah.
You're going to pick what?
Hang on. That's already pre-made.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hanging on about. Hang on.
Hang on a minute. He's pre-made that. He has.
So I'm making a bit of a journal recovery sort of thing out of this bit of junk mail from somebody. We won't advertise. And there we are so far. There's my cover. Da-da-da-da. Do I need to get closer?
It's a bit small. They won't be able to see if I do.
And I've decomposed some napkins onto a
look
book
at them. I
page.
can't cut them off.
Ba-da-ba-ba. And then the ivy, the holly, and the ba-ba-ba.
The holly and the ivy,
It's from a gift bag that I cut up.
while they were all full.
I'd already cut up the gift bag because the gift was half the size of the gift bag.
So
I've just put it up there.
The holly and the...
Yay!
So I'm going to make a tag out of this. So, has anybody like tuned out since?
Oh, probably.
Um,
It is amazing how far we have come.
right on,
Yeah.
sister.
Ta-ta.
So I didn't know because I can't see who
Tracy
wrote it.
Elton.
Yeah, right on, sister.
We will have a bright year ahead of us.
We will.
Come in the middle of it, we'll reach herd immunity and we'll be fine.
We will. So I'm going to make something out of this. I've just cut it down into a bit more tag proportions. And I'm going to cut it so that it has a bit more of an angle to it. I'm not allowed to use a knife today, so...
Hang on. Alison, that's brilliant.
What?
We have an 8-year-old boy at school who has long hair and wears headbands, nail varnish and skirts.
Oh,
And
fab!
And is fully accepted. And that's the way
Oh,
life
okay.
should be. That is the way life should be.
That's really nice, Brian.
I have always worn women's clothes, which sounds worse. Which sounds worse than it is.
I was crying a minute ago, and now I'm laughing.
But I've always bought clothes that I like. So,
Yeah, I
but
know.
Dave bought me a jumper for Christmas, which is from Next Ladies because I like it. And I have no.
I know you've seen this a million times, but if you're going to make a tag and you cut one corner off, you flip it over and you do the mirror image on it, and you put it on the other side, and you cut that bit off. Tim Holt's scissors come here, and you cut that bit off, and you follow it, and you don't keep your fingers out of the way, and you don't have any prosecco while you're doing it. Then you'll get It'll be a bit more
Something
even.
like that.
Something like that. I don't know whether it is even, but it's nearer even than it would have been if I'd left it. And I'm going to... I'll slot punch it today, so I'm going to use a slot tag instead. I'll do that in a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to do a bit of speed crafting. So
Oh no, I like the colour. I'm not gonna. Sorry, ignore me.
I'm not going to what?
Talking to myself. I was going to trim the top of it so just the words were showing, but look at the colour.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's pretty.
So I might actually put a bit of... You might not see all of this. So don't be afraid to craft and stick something down and think, oh, I don't know whether I like it. You can always cover it up. But also don't be afraid to think, oh, you know, oh, if I stick that down, I might cover it up. I don't know. Otherwise, you just end up being too hesitant. So stick it down. And if you cover it up, you cover it up. You know, don't use anything precious. And then...
Like the one ring.
What, one ring to bind us?
One ring to rule them all.
Oh, that's it. Is it one ring to bind us, one ring to rule? I've never watched Lord of the Rings.
The end of the whole thing
Don't
is...
shoot me.
The end of the whole thing is one ring to rule them all, and in the darkness bind us.
All right, see, I don't know. I don't know these things because I don't watch these. I don't watch that. I like sci-fi, but I don't.
You see,
Oh,
it's-
what's that?
I don't know. What is it?
Coconut. Oh! Oh, I've just licked my fingers. I've got
Yeah, coconut.
got Mod Podge on my finger. That's even worse than the coconut.
You see, you look at it all wrong because the reason why I love Lord of the Rings is because it's the first adult book that I wrote.
What you wrote? You write it, really?
Secretly, I'm J.R.R. Tolkien. But yeah, it's the first adult.
Happy
adult
talking,
book
talking,
that I wrote.
happy talking. No. Sorry, I've just pulled the mood down because Brian's just stopped now. He's just giving me that really dirty look. So I'm just going to put some bits of paper down.
D for Dave.
Deeper down. Oh, that's nice. Hey, what's that?
Oh no, it was in there.
All right. Oh, I didn't realise there was that.
It's your craft room. There's a
Alright.
whole pile of. There's like a bag of scraps, and it was in there.
Yeah, I keep all the scraps.
Do you want it?
No. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use this. I'll put that on there instead. And I've cut it off. I cut it off. Don't use anything that you really want to keep hold of because, like, obviously it won't. You've got to kind of be prepared to give it up.
Hello from Texas, Patricia. Nice to
Hello,
see you.
Texas.
She's asking what glue we're using. This is stick glue, a bit like Yoo-Hoo and Create It and Elmer's, I think you have over there in Texas. But it's actually Tesco's, which is the supermarket here, and it's their own brand, and it's dirt cheap.
And I am using Mod Podge, but the line through
But it's
it.
right sticky.
Yeah, Mod Podge
Go
was
on.
too. I'm using Mod Podge, but my Mod Podge. So this is my Mod Podge that is my normal Mod Podge, and then this is watered down with about 50-50 water to Mod Podge. So it just because it covers nicer, and you don't when you brush over it, it doesn't tend to tear stuff as much. So, and I also like to use, you know, if you buy an old book and there's the bits, the fragile bits that you wouldn't normally be able to use, then I will use those on crafts like this because you're going to stick them down, they're going to get stuck to something, and it's not really going to affect it. So I'm going to stick that down on here because I'm going to stick a robin on it, and it says watching birds, which I think is quite appropriate, really.
It is.
And we are going to have a chicken later.
Oh,
so-
Massachusetts as well. Hi, Eva from
Massachusetts. That's all I think when I think
Oh,
of Massachusetts.
Tricia knows what you're talking about with Mod Podge. Tesco's probably flummoxed her a bit. Tesco's is the local supermarket here in England, although they've kind of expanded into Europe. And they make their own brand everything.
Tesco tried to expand into the American market, but nobody knew who they were, so they didn't.
So everybody laughed at them.
Yeah, and good because they're a bit global domination here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this on it, but I think I might put
Except
that
they
on.
don't, do they?
Who? What?
Tesco's. They do well here in this
Yeah,
country
they do.
because they're cheap. But when I lived in Ireland, they tried to global dominate over there, and they were kind of laughed out of the country.
Yeah, good.
So,
Rightly so.
yeah.
Keep your places local.
Well, Ireland are very good at that. 10 years that I lived. I mean, I went over there. I had no room to talk. I went over there to open pizza huts because that's what I used to do. But
You were into the domination.
and we kind of were left out of the country as well.
Oh,
So,
yeah?
well, yeah, we
I
opened.
don't know.
God, in the time that I was there, we opened 15 pizza huts, and I think only 3 of them have survived. All these years later, people just don't want it.
If you are going to use any kind of napkin, make sure you have a torn edge, a torn edge,
Ted edge.
teared edge. that's the
Ted
one.
edge. Technical term.
Have a torn edge because it blends in better if you don't see it in the background. You know, it's 4:47, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So, are you anywhere near finishing your first?
God no.
So, I'm going to stick this onto
What
here.
sort of? My outside cover's almost done.
So, I'm going to stick this onto here. I'm just going to lay it down and flatten it out. I feel like I'm
Do we have to
sobering
finish?
off.
No, you don't have to finish.
We'll just keep going.
Okay.
If people don't want to watch, they don't have to. If they've got stuff to do, they can go drink, be merry. We'll just keep going for a while.
I know, but I might need to go for a wee during the... And I don't know how long the battery will go for.
Inside voice, people didn't need to know that.
So my battery was only on 65%, so...
I wasn't talking about battery.
Sorry, we might need to move that. Cheers, everyone!
Chuckers! No, we'll keep going a little while. And then we'll go
Okay.
sober
We'll
up.
go
sober up
keep
after.
going until we run out of steam. You don't have to stay with us. I really appreciate anybody that spent any time with us because
It has been lovely having you.
yeah,
I hope
And I
it's
realise that-
staved off a bit of loneliness if you're by yourself. Because you'll realise there are madder people in the world. And we're sat right here.
yeah. And if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, then you won't have a clue what I'm talking about because it's not live. But but also, hopefully, I know that some people watch my YouTube channel to kind of stave off the loneliness. So I'm talking to them in the background. Heaven knows why anybody wants me talking to them in the background. But only you guys can answer that. So I've got a couple of fans on YouTube, so I appreciate your following. Anyway, enough about YouTube because we're not on YouTube, so on Facebook. So I'm just cutting all of the extra bits off. Okay, so I've put this on. I've just realised it perhaps isn't growing up the right way, but never mind. Yeah, we're just going to keep going and
For a bit, anyway.
for a bit, yeah.
For a bit.
We're not going to. We won't.
Until
If you
we
don't
get
want to
bored.
stay, don't stay. Please don't feel that you have to be with us. You can drop in, drop out, drop in and drop out. I hope they don't drop out. Steady. You can't have any more prosecco if you carry on like
Watch me.
that.
No, that's true. Actually, I've got food to cook.
So I might
I'm not sure I can be
put that
let
into
loose
there.
on an oven.
I just think that this is a little bit plain, so I'm just going to put a bit of this into the top of there, but I'm not going to worry too much about how it looks because once you've gone over it, it won't look so bad. So you just paste it in, and then you don't really see where it
Once
is.
you've gone craft, you'll always be daft. I don't know.
What? What?
I don't know.
Am I
don't
the
know.
only one eating these because they're between us, and it's only me that's eating them?
I just ate all the jellies though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know, put anything covered in sugar in front of me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Brian
no,
likes
John.
sugar. Sugar-coated sugar, Brian likes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's how it
Have
works,
you
isn't
got
it?
brown?
Bran. I've got tea dye.
Mm.
Is that bran enough for you?
I've just put a piece of chocolate in my mouth. And I can't.
Speak.
So, those people in America, can I just ask, we have these mixed sweet packs like Quality Street. Okay, this is a bit of a tradition. Roses is a bit of a tradition in the UK. Do you have anything like that? A mixed sweet pack? I've never known. So I'm asking for a friend. I'm just thinking now. Which way am I going to have my bird?
Up and down,
Oh.
sorting dinner.
They all face the
Somebody
same
likes
way.
the white twiggy bits.
White twiggy bits. All right. These are from a card that I was making.
I'll tell you who in a minute. Love the white Twiggy Bix. Patricia Klein Carmichael loves the Twiggy Bix. I love that name.
Yeah, cool name. Flynn is really boring. It's basically the Smith of Ireland. So, don't get me wrong, I don't hate it.
I'm
It's
a
not.
king.
Yeah, you're a king.
Yeah.
Mine means ruddy complexion.
Or if you don't want to call me the king, I'm the House of Elliot, aren't I?
Yeah, so, yeah, with his Evie hair. Miss Evie. Anybody remember the House of Elliot?
You want Miss Evie? Miss Evie.
Or if you watch the Jennifer Saunders one, it was the House of Idiot. So,
It's because these days I have my hair tied back in a ponytail, which we realised this morning, looking back at Facebook histories, that I've been wearing it tied back like this for 3 years, which I hadn't realised it was so long. But I used to have a kind of Evie bob, didn't I?
yeah, with a bit of a wave on the
With
top.
a bit of a wave on the top. So we always used to call me Evie.
So I'm just darkening this down.
And the first time he ever saw it, it was like, have you seen the House of Elliot? Miss Evie. And it just kind
You're using the same
and it just
bird.
kind of stuck.
Bird is the word.
Yeah. We've only got one bird.
We haven't got one bird. There's another bird.
They're both robins, so it's just one
I know,
bird on
but
two
yes.
different pictures.
But it's different bird.
Well, I'm going to put the other robin on the other bit.
I'm trying to find my bauble.
Did I not just give you one?
No, it's alright.
Oh.
I found something. It'll do. Yeah, you did, but it's the wrong colour. Don't want to put something really dark on it. So I'm going to put a bit of dark on this to kind of highlight different areas. Also, I'm not worrying too much about it.
Ta-da! My top
It's a
tip.
model.
I don't give you top tips often, so my top tip is when you decoupage with napkins.
Don't crack with Dave.
Yeah, don't crack with, not often anyway. When you decoupage with napkins, most people don't like the kind of crackly, rough finish that you get.
No.
But if you don't like it, file it down with a nail file.
You say don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't use them. But no, just
Wait
lightly
till it's
file.
dry though.
Yeah, wait till it's dry. Back up. Wait till it's dry,
And
and then file it down with a nail file. And actually, two things happen. It makes it lovely and smooth, and then it also makes it disappear more into the paper, so it looks like it was printed on. There you go. That's my top tip.
Oh, my.
I don't often give them.
But
It's
you have now.
It's a golden nugget, but you can use it, people, any way you like.
I can't get that in there.
Can't get what in there. Oh, don't even try. Don't even try.
Worcester might have to do it for me.
No,
I can't get that in
Worcester's,
there.
at this rate, Worcester's cooking dinner.
Oh, Worcester today. He's had his presents, and he's all like a bit giddy. He's chewed
Giddy.
one of them a
Giddy.
bit. So
2 presents. 2 pieces.
Yeah.
Literally seconds.
I know, but they were for him, so
I
I
know.
don't mind.
He's allowed.
He is. So I'm just putting this on to give it a bit of a different colour and a bit of a different texture, and just dabbing it on, because then it gives it that kind of motley, more alive kind of look.
It's alive. Is it live?
Live? What, real live?
Nah.
No, live! If anybody remembers that sketch, please, admit it, because I am. You don't leave me hanging, because Ryan does think I have gone a bit mad. So,
That's why I like saying it. Live?
what, real life? No, live! Okay, sorry.
See, every time. It works every time. I even got him doing it in Tesco's.
Yes. So if you ever see me at Tesco's going, what? No, live!
No.
Well, I've just
You're
kind
very
of-
welcome, Nola. Nola said thank you for doing this on Christmas Day.
Really? Somebody likes what we're doing.
Nola, we would have been doing this anyway, and talking just as madly, except you wouldn't have been watching. It's a bit like
Yeah.
the Truman Show.
Yes.
This is just our life. This is just what goes on. This is the House of Elliot.
So I'm just dabbing a tiny bit of black on.
But thank you.
Try not to go over the top when you're using
And
any
welcome.
kind of. This is black soot, by the way. Try not to go over the top when you use. Sorry, I'm just constantly switching into teacher mode.
You
I
are.
was a teacher for so long. But yeah, if you're doing this, don't go over the top with your black, because you'll regret it. You can't take it off once you put it on.
You'll regret it.
So I'm just going to dry it off now. When you dry it, when you heat dry anything, it will always go a bit lighter than you thought it would. So just be aware of that. It's always better if you can leave it to dry, but I don't have the time to leave it to dry. We've got
all the time in the world.
Is that supposed to be a tune that I recognise?
It was Louis Armstrong.
That's not Louis Armstrong.
You're old enough to know who he is.
That's Louis Leg Week.
Rude.
Not Armstrong, Leg Week. Oh, shut up, Dave. Shut up, Dave. Does anybody else think "shut up, Dave" when I'm doing this? Rude. I am rude, yes.
You're not. Not
Okay.
really. You're funny, really.
I love you to bits, Brian. You know I do. So
I know. Talk about.
you could call me rude, and I don't really care. So all I'm doing is, I don't cut napkins out. I know I've said this a million times, but I'm just so you're aware. I'm constantly slipping into teacher mode. I can't help it. You put a camera on me, and I'm suddenly like teacher. So tear it, because then it blends in. And I realise I've cut his tail. Well, torn his tail off. That's torn it. That's a tail. That's a tail. That's to tell, isn't it? Yeah, enough of the puns. So I'm just going to tear round.
Evening, misters. Father, I'll ask you too, Liz Wheeler.
Oh, la 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 la.
Are you alright, lovely?
Is she?
I don't know. She'll answer me in a minute, no doubt.
What's this? You always
Come
like, when
over.
you do that. When you do this, it looks like you're groping a tarantula. So.
Come closer. That's waving. That's waving at Liz.
All right. Okay. Hi, Liz. I'm a bit more gay in my wave. So.
You're a bit more gay in your whole life.
I know, but I feel like I can be gay in it. I didn't when I was younger. So I'm thinking of laying this there and having my branch coming over like this, and I want to still be able to see watching birds. I think that's going to be perfect there. So I'm going to pop this. I'm going to not worry about where I put the... Don't over wet it though. You will regret it. Don't over wet it. You will regret it. I think I've said that before. It seems to me.
Thankfully, not to me. But Bill, if you're watching. Oops. Sorry, folks, I broke him.
So I'm just putting this on.
Normal service will be resumed.
Don't think
Eventually.
ever. So I'm just putting my bird in. I'm just putting my bird in. Trying not to overwet. I'm not saying it again. Trying not to get it too wet. Oh, shut up, Dave. And then that way, then it will not go. If you get it too wet, it does go really wrinkly.
Story of my life.
Shush! My head is just. You've got me on. Oh, I've had too much to drink, Brian. I'm now getting.
It's not my fault you're
giddy.
going to that place of filth.
I'm not being filthy. Don't. I've got people that I feel bad for people when they think that I'm people who need people. Shut up, Dave.
Somebody's a lucky people.
People who need people.
Bob.
Are the luckiest people. Where did you get the music paper from?
In there.
In the world.
Do you remember we had a conversation earlier when you said
one
to me that piece of music paper, we need to scan that because it's got a nice picture of Rudolph on it.
Yeah.
And I said to you at the time, and you said, where did it come
There's
from?
more music paper in there.
Yeah.
You're using all of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's loaded now. And I said to you, I took it from the shelf up there to put in there so that we had some music paper to play with, and I found a picture of Rudolph and I left it out.
Rudolph.
So that's why there's music paper in there. I
didn't know that,
sometimes
so
think I
I'm
talk
out.
to myself.
Sometimes I think you do.
Sometimes I think I have to.
Sometimes you are. Because clearly I'm not paying any attention.
Nope.
Triplets. Finger exercises. I want to see those.